right, Dr. Z, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Good morning. We are Magnum Consulting. These fine gentlemen to my left and my right are the current executives of this prestigious company. We got Austin Bobo, Eric Roden, Mike Perez, Will Forbes, Josh McAnally, Zach Skinner, Fernando Gonzalez. I'm Philip Peak, and this morning we'll be presenting to you our proposed design for the new headquarters and storage facility for Move LLC. So this is a little outline showcasing where we're going to be taking y'all on this journey towards engineering genius. We're going to start off with our site selection, talk a little bit about our proposed layout and design. We'll also talk a little bit about the project schedule and cost estimate, life cycle analysis, and our attempts towards LEED certification. After all that's been discussed, we're going to give our recommendations and our conclusion for the project. First things first, just want to give a little background about who we are at Magnum Consulting. We at Magnum Consulting are a proud company, and we're very honored to be given the opportunity to help the folks at Move LLC. You may be asking yourselves, geez, why are these guys at Magnum so proud of themselves? Well, folks, it's because of this man right here. For those of you who don't know who this esteemed man is, this is none other than George Washington, the first president of the United States. Okay, I know what you're asking now. Magnum, okay, what on earth does George Washington have to do with your company? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you. You see, George Washington wasn't just the leader of the colonies and the founding father of our great country. He was also founding father of our great company. What, you don't believe me? Think again. Fast forward 237 years to the present day, and here we have the current executives of Magnum Consulting who strive each and every day to carry on George Washington's legacy, providing the good people of America the eco-friendly and energy-efficient buildings that they so rightfully deserve. But enough small talk, let's get right down to it. First, we're talking a little bit about the site selection. So of course, Move LLC wants our help in designing an office space where they can manage the operations around the Auburn, Opelika area, as well as mini storage for the public, a storage warehouse, and of course they want to also implement LEED standards to the facility. So we can consider things like, say, renewable energy, say, like solar panels, and even products that promote a clean environment, like adaptive trees or vegetation. All of which we hope will help us in our attempts to get LEED certification, which is just so elusive in the state of Alabama. Moving right along, here we have our work breakdown schedule. As you can see, we've broken it down to areas such as site work and grading, structure, interior finishing. You can see we've included such things as a retention pond, pervious pavement, green roof, bamboo flooring, items which we hope will help us achieve LEED certification. We've also broken the schedule down into building systems, where we have a chance to include such things as solar panels, high efficiency lighting, and water efficient plumbing. All right, so now we're going to show you where exactly our site is going to be located. And boom, right here, ladies and gentlemen, is where Magnum Consulting is going to be placing its engineering love child. As you can see on this map, our site location is represented by this little blue dot right here. So you can see, it's not too terribly far away from where we are right now, just south of O-Town, right off of I-85. We zoom in a little further. See a little bit more details about the area. You drive up this road right here, you run into such respectable Opelika businesses such as Hardee's, Dollar General. You get some really fine details about this little parcel of land. It's exactly 32 degrees north, 87 degrees west.
Philip, that's too much detail, man. We gotta take it back a notch. Here, I'll make this easy for everybody. I'll give you driving directions directly to our proposed location. And we'll start out in our super smart car, fuel efficient, and we'll start off heading north on College, making a right turn on Glen, passing tracks have gone too far. 3.6 miles around the airport bend, make a right turn by Wendy's, past the Google Car Wash, hop on I-65, hit it to 70 horsepower up to 75 miles an hour, get off on exit 60 around a U-turn, hit a 9, and you'll be easing on up right into our proposed location. So now that you know exactly where we're at, and tell you a little bit about our design process. Well, we started out with just a property that we found for sale for $700,000. Now this property we delineated for our project constraints, and we had an existing facility on site. So this warehouse shown in orange is actually a shipping and handling facility. So we decided we were going to renovate that. Well, naturally, the next step in our design phase was figuring out what kind of topography we had. As you can see here, when the reds and the oranges are the higher elevations, while the greens are lower elevations. So now that we knew what our site looked like, we could figure out where our water was going. These vectors show you which way stormwater will be flowing. As you can see, the majority of the water flows to the northeast corner of the property. Now this flows off-site into the natural drainage system that's existing. Now that we had now that we understood our drainage, we could select where we would place our retainage pond. We decided to put it here in case our pond overflowed. We knew it would flow out to the natural pre-existing conditions. So once we had this selected, we could lay out the rest of our facility, and we selected where we would place our buildings. After placing our buildings, we placed our access roads and parking lots. As you can see, the black is typical asphalt pavement, and the green area here is our pervious pavement, which we put in front of our main facility for parking. After that, we installed our sidewalks and our stormwater conveyance system. Those blue lines are stormwater pipes that convey water throughout the site towards our proposed retention pond. This allows for water to be captured without flowing off-site. As you can see in black around our pond is a nature trail which we've proposed for employees to be able to take a break from the work and enjoy the outdoors. So after that, we decided to grade our site so we can fit all of our items the way we wanted. So as you can see, the pond is graded out, and we've taken all that fill, or all that cut, and placed it around our site for our fill. We have a net zero grading plan, which means that we haven't lost any soil or had to transport any soil in. So this shows you here where we took the soil out and where we filled it. So the blue is cut, orange is filled. And if you add up all these cubic feet, you get 0. So we didn't have to do any mass grading. So now that you understand how we came up with our design, I can take you on a little tour of our facility. We'll start out at the main entrance, which we propose to renovate. So this is the existing condition, and you can see we're going to put asphalt parking lot over here for for customers who are going to access the self-storage, and we're going to rehabilitate this road. From here, we move down to some of the tenant facilities, such as the custom drying center, and we also have a truck supply and wash area. We have a small repair bay here for trucks, and a recycling and waste storage center. We move north just a little bit, you'll see where we have the existing receiving and unloading bays, which we will just do minor modifications to meet the specifications of the owner. From here, we move further east along the property, and you can see where we have another self-storage and overflow parking next to the existing warehouse, as well as the pervious pavement parking in front of the proposed office. We'll zoom in a little bit here on the parking facility. I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Now we've selected this drivable grass system, which actually allows heavy vehicles to drive over. Now even though we're not expecting storage trucks to be in this parking lot area, it can still accommodate those heavy vehicles. So from here, I'll pass it on to Josh, who'll give you a tour of the inside of our building.
Thank you, Mike. All right, we're going to be touring inside the building.
More.
All right, here we go. All right, first floor. Overview site, we have the shared locker rooms top. Then we also have the shared kitchen area. When you first come in, there's a main lobby that's going to be open area, and you'll see that in the virtual tour coming up. Here's the second floor. This is where all the executive offices are housed, and a few managerial offices on the top. Again, you can see the staircase comes up into another wide open lobby area. Conference room down here at the bottom. Here we go. And when you first come in, we're going to show you some of the key concepts that we believe that highlight the building's great features, make it a great place to work, and make it LEED accredited. As you're coming in, you already see the bamboo flooring we have proposed for the building. It's a 7-year harvest cycle, make it extremely great for the environment. It also looks great at the floors. We come through, and you're also going to notice a bunch of the glass walls that we really believe help with the daylighting in the rooms. In the center of the building, you can still see out to the outside, which you'll notice as we keep going throughout the whole building. Now we're coming to the left, to the side of the building. Those right there are bathrooms on the other side, and it's on a glass hallway on the other side. You see the 4 offices. Coming around, again, you can see more of the glass windows. And the bamboo floor, and this looks great. You can also notice the lights hanging down. There's no ceiling. It's an open concept. We kind of like the idea of having a ceiling. It just gives more space, makes it a pleasant place to work. Come around, you saw you wanted the staircase just a second ago. We plan on having the sales area around that area, along with the reception desk. Coming through, here's the hallway. You see straight out to the sea of trees. You're going to be coming around. There's the locker rooms in the back right, and we're going to make a left, come to the kitchen area, and show off the shared space we plan on having for the kitchen. Plenty of room to go with. We have a couple things in there, so you can already get an idea what you probably put in the room. There's going to be a refrigerator, obviously sink, oven. You can have some tables, serving tables, more cabinet space is probably what you'll want. But we're leaving that out, just an open view. Now we're going to come on through, and we're going to show some more of the offices on the first floor. These first floors are the managerial offices, all of them, executive offices again on the second floor. The managerial offices are a minimum of 300 square feet, some are larger. This is one of the larger ones, but I wouldn't say the best view. It's where I'd like to work. You're coming in, you can already see the retention pond, or the pond we have on the other side. As you come through, you can see it outside. It's a great view. Plenty of room to work in here. And as you come up there, I'll just look at those. But again, talking about daylighting, this curtain wall system we have, we first envisioned almost a completely glass wall. We realized that was too costly. It wasn't really what you probably wanted. So we just cut it down, make the windows smaller, but it's still plenty of daylight to come through, satisfy the LEED credits. We use 3ds Design Max in conjunction with Autodesk to do that. As we come down the hallway, you keep seeing just the glass walls from the offices. They can all look out. Makes it, again, a pleasant place to work. You don't like being cooped up in a small office. 300 square feet can get really small if there's no windows. Now coming through, again, there's the staircase, and we're going to go up that. Again, just showing off all the area. As we come up there, another pitch of the lighting. It's hanging down. Again, no ceiling. Makes it feel much larger. And here we go. Here's the second floor. We're going to go straight into this office. Again, this is one of the executive offices. It's much larger than the office you just saw originally, and also carpeted with red carpet. And this one's also looking out the same view. So you can see the trees and see the pond again. Again, this is probably one of the better offices. That's what I want to show it to you. Coming around, see the trees there. And as I talk about this, I want to give credit to all our great founders, such as George Washington. Talk about our great friend Abraham Lincoln here in a minute. And then I want to thank personally Benjamin Franklin. From him, we have the power to do this thanks to his kite and electric storm. We have his tribute here coming up. But on the way, here comes a conference room. This is where it's going to be a shared conference between the tenant and the owner. Great place to take your clients when you want to show off the building. As you come to it, you'll start to notice, it may be hard to see, but you can see the warehouse. The shared warehouse office will be on the right side through the windows. And we'll have a kind of envisioned area of what you can do in the space. Well, you can see the parking lot. Apparently I don't have a shared warehouse showing. But here's what you can do in the space. You can have plenty of room for the office. Easily fits a huge oval table with 12 chairs in there. And coming back out, another great view of the area. Again, more bamboo flooring to show off what we want to use it for. And then coming through, I'll just let you enjoy the rest of the view. And here's our good friend Ben Franklin. All right. Take it away here.
Thank you very much. Okay, in developing the schedule for this project, we used techniques developed by former Chief Magnum Scheduler, Mr. Abraham Lincoln. Now, in here you can be seen what is our schedule. Our proposed schedule runs from August 1st of this year until November 21st of 2014. Now, we recognize that the owner requested that the facilities be ready for use in April of 2014. We, Magnum, felt that it was not feasible to use a combination of the set schedule and the budget to create a quality building that the owner deserves and that we at Magnum would be proud to put our name on. So just a few initial activities. As you can see, the first day there's a pre-construction meeting to discuss legalities and regulations of the construction project. And starting with the critical paths shown here with the orange, we have site grading. Site grading runs from these dates, and here's a 3D rendering of the on-site topography as it is now. Moving on to the topography once all grading is to be completed. Moving on through the critical path, we have the office construction, which is from these days. Initial activities include the casting of the foundation and slab on grade, which takes roughly about a month. And then we have the building of the structural steel, all wood framing. That's going to take about 7 months total. And then moving on, the exterior finishes, brick walls, windows, those about 2 months to finish that. And we'll complete that. And even though not part of the critical path, another important part is the warehouse renovation. To renovate the warehouse, there needs to be the partitioning wall, which takes about 2 weeks to install. All solar panels need to be installed. It takes about 3 weeks. And this will be done on November 18th of 2013. And now I'll turn it over to Zach.
Conspiracies. They go hand in hand with the presidency. And one of the little known conspiracies involving Richard Nixon here is that he did not leave the White House because of Watergate. He left to become the chief estimator at Magnum Consulting, seen here leaving in the Magnum Consulting helicopter. And now we're going to do a cost breakdown for the facility. We've broken down all the finishes and all of our work systems into these convenient sections. We have our land, which was our highest cost at $700,000. Our finishes, openings, and insulation. We have concrete, which we have slab on grade and elevated slab. Our plumbing system, high efficient features, and our water recovery system for the retainage pond. We have a large solar panel system that will be housed on the existing warehouse. We have our electrical systems, which include daylighting, daylight controls, and our lighting system is actually able to be controlled from your phone. So is our HVAC system. All our comfort control systems are they're at the touch of a hand. You'll be able to change your lighting settings and your temperature settings. We've already talked about our site work, and so now let's take a tour of the building, of the facility. We have our warehouse renovation and mini storage conversion. We're going to put a wall on this side of the warehouse, and our mini storage will be up here. We'll have access doors on both sides. We have our solar panels mounted on this side. They'll receive around 4.25 sun hours a day, according to the average in our area, and they'll be able to produce around 57,000 kilowatt hours a year for the building. For the building, we have our high efficiency HVAC system mounted on the roof. It will do all our cooling and all our heating for the building. Our green roof, which is 4-inch sod, it's going to allow for filtration of storm water and sloped so that all the water will run off towards the retainage pond. Here's our pervious parking system. It's a high cost, but we felt it was something we wanted to do to achieve our LEED credits. Same with our curtain wall system. We could have saved a lot of money by not using it, but we felt like the daylighting views were very important to achieving our LEED standards. Our retaining pond, it's going to hold all the storm water that we could possibly get on the site, enough for a 10-year storm event. And then we'll go into our building. You can see some of our finishes. We have our LED lighting system, which is also, like I said, controllable from your phone, $31,000. We have reclaimed wood doors for every room in the building. We have bamboo flooring throughout the common areas. And we have the interior glass system that allows all of that light to filter in for all of the great daylighting views that we've seen so far. So now we'll do a cost summary. We came up with a total of $2.9 million in construction costs. For the LEED Platinum application, it was $2,000. Permitting fees, design fees, mobilization, and contingency came to a grand total of $2.97 million, which was $30,000 under budget. To give you an idea, we spent around 900 hours on this project, coming up to $48 a man hour, which we feel is a very reasonable design fee for this project. Our square foot dollars, we have $124 per square foot, including the warehouse and the office. This number will be used to determine tenant leasing fees. And we feel like we presented a building that is under budget. It gives everything the owner could possibly want, and it's a very, very enjoyable place to work in.
Now, most people think this guy's dead, but the truth is, the rapper Tupac faked his own death to come work for Magnum as our supply risk manager. Now, along with having all these water and electrical energy efficient devices, we did a life cycle cost analysis for all of them, and this graph here focuses on just the solar panels, but it is an example of how we went about it for all the other components. Now, our red line here shows the cost of electricity, which research shows increases by about 5% every year. And our green line shows the electricity actually produced by these proposed solar panels, which, according to the manufacturer, decreases by about 0.5% a year due to general wear and tear. Now, so throughout these solar panels, we need to look at the savings that you have from and the energy produced. And the blue bars show the annual savings at their current worth value. And our blue line shows the summation of these savings. As you can see, it increases exponentially. This is done to help determine the payback period, or the time to which the solar panels produce enough energy to pay for themselves. And our light blue line shows the cost of the solar panels after installation, warranties, and government incentives like the solar tax credit. And you can see the payback period right here where they intersect, which turns out to be right about 20 years.
Wait, Austin, what about inflation?
That's a good question, Zach. I'm glad you asked. We all know that $1 today is not worth $1 tomorrow. And taking into account inflation, which research shows to be about 3% a year, we have new savings data with the orange bars showing the annual savings in today's dollar value. And our orange line shows the compacted summation of that, which, as you can see, it decreases over time. Because of this, it actually gives us a new payback period where these two lines intersect of about 30 years, which, while this is within the expected 40-year life cycle of these solar panels, it is beyond the 20-year manufacturer warranty, so it's not a very viable option. Now if we focus on the water-efficient components, we did the same life cycle cost analysis as shown before, and as you can see, for several of these, the payback period is actually outside the expected life of these particular components. But one of our more notable items is the waterless urinals. If we focus on this, we can see that the payback period is just over 10 years, and they have a cost-benefit ratio of 3.62. These waterless urinals over their life save over almost a million gallons of water, which is a $4,800 savings over that life. All these water-efficient components together save almost 2 million gallons of water, and that's a $10,000 savings over the life of those components. Now if we focus on the electrical components, we did the same thing, same life cycle cost analysis as before, and if we focus on one of our more notable items, the solar water heater, and as you can see, there's actually a negative capital cost. That's because after the installation of the warranties and the government incentives like the solar tax credit, it winds up being cheaper than your standard water heater by about $2,000. And also, we all know that money isn't everything. There's also the global impact to consider. So we also did an analysis based on the EPA methodology to determine how much the carbon emissions were reduced because of these components. And the total reduction was over 2,000 metric tons. Now you might be thinking, well, what is 2,000 metric tons? CO2. To put that in terms you might understand, that's almost the same as taking almost 500 vehicles off the road every year, reducing the gallons of gasoline combusted by 255,000. That's 95,000 propane cylinders not used, or 58,000 trees saved. Too soon?
Now, before I talk more about LEED Green Buildings, I want to tell you a little bit more about the history of Magnum Consulting. Now, you already know that our company was founded by George Washington. What Philip didn't tell you is that George couldn't have done it without his right-hand man, inventor of the environment and the internet, Al Gore. Now, you might be asking yourselves, come on, Magnum, you don't really expect us to believe that Al Gore is 237 years old? Our response to that is yes. Yes, we do. Need more proof? Here I have a picture of George and Al shaking hands. Checkmate. Your move history. All right, moving on to the LEED certification. We have a few of the pros and cons of LEED. First of all, we have resource efficiency. With all our new appliances, we'll be saving a lot of energy and water. This produces a more healthy and productive work environment, as the indoor air quality and the quality on site is much improved from a normal office space. We have lower operating and maintenance costs in general from these appliances, as we'll be using less energy and water. Decreased pollutants around the site and emitted into the atmosphere. All of this technology is state-of-the-art, and it increases sex appeal to buildings so that when you are bringing clients on site, they'll be seeing a new building that's much different than what they'll be getting from their other potential bidders. Now, a few of the cons of these LEED buildings is you obviously have a high upfront cost from these state-of-the-art technologies. These are more difficult to install and manufacture, so it does increase construction time. And there is the potential for high maintenance costs, as state-of-the-art technology, if it does break, like the solar panels, then it can cost a lot to replace them. Now, since we understand that LEED is expensive, what we've done is we've broken down a few options for the owner. First of all, we determined that the max amount of credits achievable for this building is 89, which gives us LEED Platinum and a cost of around $2.97 million. And then we've broken it down to the minimum of each LEED standard, going to Platinum, Gold, Silver, and Accredited. And as you can see, as you move down the list, there is more potential savings of the upfront cost for the building.
Now, we completed our detailed analysis and we had to decide which level of LEED to choose. We recommend LEED Silver at $2.7 million, and you might be asking yourself, if you look at Gold and Platinum, it's about $20,000 off or $100,000 off. How did you decide not to go for Gold or Platinum? Well, the extra capital you'd be putting forth does not ever pay back, therefore the best option would be LEED Silver. Now, you've seen our company history, you've seen our detailed design, and it's time for you to choose who to use, us or the other guys. Now, to help you through this decision, I'll highlight some of the key aspects of our proposal. Location. There's less constructible land around the Auburn-Opelika area. Our building is convenient to the Auburn-Opelika area and makes easy access for trucks from I-85. Especially in today's economy, you gotta save money where you can. Our design is under budget and on time. Now, our open floor plan and attention to detail makes this a world-class building that is sure to impress clients. We continue the honesty, dedication, and tradition that our company founders instilled over 200 years ago. Most importantly, our qualified team is dedicated to making your construction experience enjoyable. Questions?
What type of building is that going to be as far as like, you know, framing? Is it going to be a steel building? Is it going to be a wood frame building?
It'll be a steel building, and the curtain wall will be framed wood.
Okay. Just noticed on your estimate that I didn't see an item for any steel. You had concrete. One of our biggest costs was steel, so I didn't know if y'all addressed that or.
Yeah, we addressed it. We actually went down to rebar, concrete. We might even have the spacing of it. Get back to David Lincoln if we can.
While you're flipping back, you said y'all were on time, but you also said you were 6 months late on the owners' suggested schedule, so.
Well, they didn't factor in rain delays, and that was 40 days. So.
6 months of rain delays.
No, we were a month later.
Why don't you said October?
Well, there's an expected 122 days of rain for this area every year, so we accounted for that. Most of those won't stop construction, but some might. It also accounts for holidays, so that will delay the project some. And there's also for IEQ credit 3.2, there's a 47-day flush-out period at the very end, so that also is added on to the end of construction.
To address the steel question, we estimated steel beams and steel columns. I believe they're W14 by 12 or something like that.
The structural steel is near the top of the scale.
LRT. Slender columns.
Slender columns,
Non-sway.
Just check.
So is there an option for the tenant to move in earlier than your expected completion date? Or do you guys have alternatives that you could, in order to compress or shorten the schedule if you want?
Well, if the budget was raised, we could expedite a few of those activities, you know, kind of rush them, bring in more labor, get materials sooner. But with that set budget, we feel that's an appropriate timeline to create a quality product.
Now with the alternative lead options, that will also decrease construction time. So we didn't perform an analysis on how long that would take, but that would definitely decrease it.
I do know our lead silver option, I think, eliminated the retainage ponds, so that would eliminate a large part of our grading problems.
So what else was eliminated when you went from LEED Platinum to your recommendation of LEED Silver?
We lowered the number of curtain wall windows to more reasonable windows per office, and we eliminated the interior glass and made it drywall systems. for the walls, and that turned out to be a very large cost.
So what are some of the lead credits that you're, I guess, eliminating?
We lose our stormwater runoff quality, we lose our, I believe, some of our water quality issues and our water reduction factor for the toilets and things. Daylighting, we've lost our daylighting credit, and our light control, I believe. Light pollution credit.
So are you still recommending that the owner go with solar panels?
In the silver, there's no solar panels also, because they did not pay back over time.
Correct.
All right. So I don't know. I haven't seen very much of this, but so you guys is grass out there. So your renewable parking lot. What kind of grass are you gonna use for that? Because otherwise you're gonna have to mow it all the time.
That's right.
Putting green grass.
No,
Is it the
we'll
same kind
have
of
to
grass
be-
you're gonna put on your roof? Because otherwise that would just be a mosquito trap.
It will have to be maintained. The manufacturer did not say there's issues with mosquitoes or pests.
It's the southeast guys.
Coastal Bermuda grass.
And so why does the building have so much segregation? Because I saw that. Is it right? Is it natural bamboo flooring?
No, that's not obvious.
The openness? Okay.
How much square feet of non-climate control do you have? 4,000? 4,000?
Yeah,
Project-
how many project scope change?
How many square feet is the warehouse?
40,000. How much of that is for the climate control, and how much is that for?
I think it's either 16 and 40. And then 20 of it, right here. From this side over will be the mini storage. From this side over will be the open warehouse, and this is split down the middle, 20 and 20.
So realize the project scope doesn't change. You just have to satisfy the minimum element of the project scope, right? So what they have done here is they found an existing building that satisfies those minimum requirements and actually provides them probably a little bit more space.
So you have all climate control in?
No, I think it's 16 and 40. Basically, what you can do is you can put up a wall. I think it might be over here in this corner. You can, leave this side open, have doors on the side, and keep this from being all climate controlled.
And then owners would have access to the climate control through, I guess there might be a bay door that you guys install or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think location will affect business? Because there are a lot of mini storage facilities in the Auburn area, and since your primary clientele will be Auburn students, will it be worth driving to Opelika for your business?
Well, this piece of land we found in Opelika was worth it because of the price and the building. But the main thing is to be close enough to campus where you can get trucks back and forth, and with the interstate being right there for larger trucks, 18-wheelers, to be able to exit, right there. So I think so, yes.
Additionally, we'll have less overhead, so prices will be cheaper attracting students out there. It's convenient located on I-10. Shouldn't be any problem.
What was that warehouse previously used for? Do you have to worry about contaminants or anything like that?
Just shipping and receiving in general commodities.
What kind of things go into refurbishing it and renovating it?
Well, the structure was intact and everything checked out, so the main thing with the owner said that it would just need general repairs as far as paint, and then we would have these doors were here,